What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your boy DIVIJ. It's been a couple weeks since I've done a video like this. I've really just been doing different kind of videos like Shopify tutorials and just being in the studio and putting out beats or whatever for fun. But today I want to talk about something super important, which applies to pretty much all of us. How do you get a job that's ideal, especially after college, right? So I actually just graduated from USC, and I actually had a couple job offers lined up as soon as I got out of school, which is something that I feel like people have a hard time doing. And I literally only applied to jobs for probably like 3 or 4 weeks. Like, it didn't even take me that long. I have friends right now who are, some of them are doing great. They're working in private equity or they're working in finance and they're making 100 grand plus. But then there's the other people who actually just moved back in with their parents and they're trying to figure out, what the fuck am I going to do with my life? How do you get a job? It doesn't have to be ideal. It can be a job where, you're making 30 grand and, you're going to figure your life out. Or it may be, how do you get a job at a top company that pays, a certain amount of dollars or whatever that you need to survive and live a lifestyle that you want. I'm gonna run through the strategy, starting from how do you do your initial outreach, talk a little bit about job applications, and also a little bit about interviews and how to really crush an interview and get these employers actually coming back to you and saying, hey, we're going to offer you this much amount of money. A lot of these larger companies where there's so many different people trying to compete for these specific positions, so you got to really do something to stand out. And there's only so much a resume can do. I feel like a resume can definitely get you in the door in terms of getting that initial meeting, but there's not much it can do in terms of actually bringing you into the company as a full-time employee, unless you're doing something maybe in like whether it's software development. Obviously they're looking for someone who's built XYZ apps. So the first thing that I would recommend is create a list of 10 or 20 companies that you would really love to work at, okay? I see a lot of people spending so much time applying to 1,000 different companies using job applications online, and they end up getting none of them. When realistically, you should pick 10 to 20 companies or less if you can. I think closer to 10 is great. Pick 10 companies that you would love to work at, and you'd be fine working at any one of these companies. It doesn't matter if 9 of them reject you. If one of them takes you in, you're super excited and passionate about that specific company. Once you have that list created, forget all the other companies out there, right? If you're doing finance, let's say, there's probably 100 different finance companies that you could work for, but I want you to just pick 10 or 20, focus on those, and really do as much outreach as you can in those specific companies. So that's what I did. For me, it was, my 2 industries that I was looking at was really entertainment, and I guess private equity would be the second one. And I'm also in real estate, but that's more of, I'm a realtor and I work on the side on the weekends. So I was really focused on entertainment and private equity. Those are my 2 focuses. So I picked companies like CAA, WME, Interscope Records, Capitol Records, Third Bridge private equity company, and there was a couple others on my list I can't remember. H Wood Group was another one. So my strategy was basically figure out those companies and then go on LinkedIn. I'm sure you guys know what LinkedIn is. If you don't have an account, I would highly suggest you have one, because everybody in the professional world has a LinkedIn account, and it's super imperative that you have one. And because, that's literally what people use to kind of get a better understanding of who these potential candidates are. So get a LinkedIn, and then what you should do is figure out which city you want to work in. So in the location tab, which I'll actually give you guys a little intro using my computer, which I'll put down in the link in the description below. But type in the location, type in the company name on LinkedIn, and then hit search. And you can also on LinkedIn, you can actually narrow down your search using a school. So let's say you graduated from USC. Your primary target for people you want to reach out to in the company is people that graduated from USC. So in the search bar, you would put creative artist agency, people who graduated from USC who are living in Los Angeles. So using that search, you'd probably get a list of maybe 400 people. Just depends on the size of the company. But once you have that list, what you got to do is pick up the phone. Now, this is something that people get really scared about, because obviously there's a fear of rejection and people don't want to have to deal with getting yelled at on the phone or being told to fuck off or whatever it is. But this is a very crucial step in terms of actually getting a meeting in person or landing an interview. Okay, so what you want to do is look up that list on LinkedIn, grab your phone, figure out the company phone number online. So go on Google, type in creative artist agency or XYZ company, office in Los Angeles. Google will actually give you their phone number. A lot of companies keep it private, but if you can get that phone number, call the receptionist at the company and ask for a specific person that you found on LinkedIn. Say, hey, this is DIVIJ or whatever your name is. I'm a recent graduate from USC. I was looking for, John Doe or whatever the name is, and then get on the phone with that person and say, hey, look. And now, don't ask for a job. I feel like people fuck this up. Don't get on the phone and ask for a job. You want to ask for advice, okay? I was talking to my mentor, actually, and what he told me was, when you ask for advice, you get a job. If you ask for a job, you don't get shit, okay? So get on the phone, talk to them for a little bit, say, hey, I'm a recent graduate of USC. I know you went to USC as well. I was wondering if you had 5 or 10 minutes this week or next to hop on a phone call just so I could ask you a couple questions about your experience at CAA or XYZ company, and maybe just hear some advice you may have for someone who's interested in XYZ field. Now, when you position yourself like that, they're going to be very happy to help you because they were also in that position at one point when they were graduating college, and I'm sure someone helped them out to get where they are today, so they want to kind of pass that favor along. So that's definitely crucial. Now, I would be careful in terms of reaching out to too many people at the same company in the same amount of time, because word is going to spread in the company that, this person has spoken to and this person has spoken to, and then people are going to say, maybe, this person's a little manipulative, or, everyone has different perspectives. So I would really focus on one person from each company, call them, land an informational interview, whether it's on the phone or you can grab coffee with them, and just talk about their experience. Focus on them. Don't talk about yourself too much. Once you've learned about their experience, then they'll start to ask you, so tell me about yourself. That's when you go into kind of what you want to do, your experience, previous internships you've done. And I guarantee you at the end of it, 80% of these people you talk to will by themselves automatically offer to pass your resume on to HR, okay? And that's the crucial step that you want to get to, and that's the step that's actually going to get you that initial meeting with the HR department, or that initial interview, is getting an in-house referral from someone in the company, okay? Because there's tons of people that apply online, but that there isn't much value in terms of an online application because there's so many of them. But there's very few people who get in-house referrals from people that are working in the company. So that's got to be your goal. Just to recap a little, because I know I went off on a rant, the first thing is create a list of 10 or 20 companies that you'd love to work at. Go on LinkedIn. This is a huge step. And basically just figure out names of people that work at the company. Third step is hop on the phone, call the company, and ask to speak with that specific person. Set up an informational interview, whether it's coffee or on the phone. And then from that step is, you can actually ask that person, hey, would you mind passing my resume on to HR? Or they'll actually just offer you and say, hey, send me your resume. I'd be glad to, to pass it on. Once you get to that position, you're going to land an interview with someone in HR. At that point, it's really just about being yourself, being professional and having knowledge about the company. I think that's the biggest thing is, people want to work for JP Morgan and they go in for the interview, but they don't know shit about JP Morgan. You want to make sure you're conveying the fact that you're very passionate about the clients that the company has, and about the corporate culture that the company has, or whatever it may be. So you want to make sure that you portray that in the interview. And then, of course, from there on, it's really just about you using, your eloquence or whatever the fuck it's called, and, you being charming and, taking that process further. So that's pretty much what I did in terms of getting my job. In terms of what I'm doing now, I'm actually about to start working in private equity. So I'm actually leaving to New York in the next 2 weeks for training, and they're going to fly me out there, and then I come back and I start in Santa Monica. And I'm actually working at Capitol Records right now just as a temp executive assistant. And I'm doing real estate on the side, just kind of doing my own businesses and stuff, trying to close deals, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a little bit about what I'm doing. But basically, that's it, guys. That pretty much covers it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up. I'm going to put all my email information and my contact info down below. And I'm actually dropping a course pretty soon on YouTube. You can sign up using the Google Doc sheet in the description. And, you can get in contact with me and we can hop on the phone and I'll tell you a little bit about the course that I'm dropping. And it's not going to be too crazy expensive, but anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, it's your boy DIVIJ Vaswani. And stay tuned for more content. I should be dropping a video pretty much every day for the next couple months. I'm going to try to be consistent with it. And yeah, thanks, guys, for tuning in. Appreciate it. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, social media. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.